Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. To boost profits, we're constantly told to find new leads, find new markets, new customers and clients. It's what sales guru Tony Gattari calls lead madness. Sure, it's advantageous to find potential customers, but that's not the only lever at your disposal. There are other levers, he says, that you can adjust to boost your overall profit margin. If you can measure what you're doing now and increase those variables by 10%, your overall profit margin could potentially be around 61%. And who doesn't want that, especially these days? Chris Ashmore starts by asking Tony how important it is to get the sales and marketing mix right.
Sales is the livelihood of every business. If you don't sell, you don't have a business. And, you might sustain that for a little period of time, but ultimately, end of the day, sales is the engine that really drives every fundamental business. And it's just so vitally important, yeah.
Well, you have a system, you have a marketing and sales system, Tony, to boost profits. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, look, it's a model called 5 Ways. And as you are well aware, Chris, I am part of a network of 1,000 business coaches, and all of our coaches in action use this model. And it's a really simple model, but it is incredibly insightful. Because what happens is that most people in business, they know how many customers they have. They know what their revenue is. They know what profit they make. But these are all just results. And the key in 5 Ways is understanding what are the triggers or the levers that create those results. If you understand this, you can save yourself a lot of money, because sometimes the answer is not spending more money on marketing, but improving the other variables that cost no money. And because they're not talked about a lot, people in business think, I've got to generate more leads. I've got to spend more money on marketing. I've got to do SEM. I've got to do SEO. And they get caught up in this, I call it lead madness, okay, getting more leads. So let's just go through the 5 ways, and I think you'll understand the wisdom here. Number 1 is the amount of leads that your business is generating, okay? So it's the number of leads. Number 2 is your leads times your conversion rate equals your number of customers. Now, this is really big because, I am a junkie on measuring stuff. What you measure, you manage. And the most frightening thing for me as a business coach are people who wildly overestimate their conversion rates. Their conversion rate is, if you get 100 quotes, how many get converted? And sometimes the owner will go 80%. He's just plucked the figure out of his head. We measure it, it's sometimes 18%. It's bullshit. The reason it's bullshit is because he's never measured it, and you can't improve something if you don't measure it. Soon as you start measuring your conversion rate, you'll improve it. But not only that, it's the low-hanging fruits. It's like, why spend more money on marketing if you can't actually get the conversion rate of your existing ones? Why would you do that? Why would you be so stupid? But they do. So once you've got those 2 variables, that equals your number of customers. Your number of customers times your number of transactions, which is how often they buy, times your average dollar sale equals your revenue. Your revenue times your profit margin equals your profits. Now that's the formula. Now I want to give you some numbers, because I think the right brain is now yielding. Show us how this works. You got 5 levers there. They're leads, conversion rate, number of transactions, average dollar sale, and profit margins. Let's just say, for example, that I had a business that had 4,000 leads. My conversion rate was 25%. My number of customers would be 1,000. Number of transactions are 2. Average dollar sale is 100. Revenue is 200,000. Profit margin is 25%. Therefore, my profit is 50,000. Now, let's just say, Chris, that all that I did, I improved those 5 variables at the same time by a measly 10%. Nothing more, nothing major. Let's see what happens. Let's do the maths. 4,000 goes to 4,400. 25% goes to 27.5%. My number of customers, which were 1,000, has moved to 1,210. So suddenly I have a 21% increase in the number of customers. Number of transactions have gone to 2.2. My average dollar sale has gone to 110. Okay, my revenue, which was 200,000, has now gone to 292,000, which is a 42% increase. My profit margin, which was 25%, has gone to 27.5%, and my profit, which was 50,000, has now gone to a whopping $80,000. The end result of that is a 10% increase in those 5 levers will lead a business owner to get a 40% increase in revenue and a 61% increase in profits. Now, here's my takeout. If you want to build a great business, don't spend any more money. If you can measure those 5 variables, set targets for them, introduce strategies, you will explode your business in profits in a very positive way. It is one of the most insightful formulas I've seen in business. I have used it in every business that I've been involved in, and the application, the inspection, and the improvement that can be done in a business in a very short period of time with no money down is spectacular.
That was business coach Tony Gattari. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.